All right, welcome back to Fox's Ghetto Prison. Yes, this is Oxygen Not Included, episode 8. So today what we're going to do, first we're going to unpause the game. It looks like we might have a potential... These guys don't have the skills I want, so let's go ahead. I kind of want... Nope, you're a mouth breather. Never mind. So here's what we're going to be doing today. Let me check my refined metals. I have a little bit of copper. I need more. How much gold do I have? I have plenty of gold, so I want... So every 4 of them makes a battery, so I need 4, 8, 12, 6... I need 16, so let's get 16 of these. It's time to start changing some priorities, because there's certain things that just need to get done. Turn these to 6s. This is not going to be a critter ranching area. So we are filling this up. I think I've changed my mind on this. Not in that this is a bad idea, but in that I don't actually want to do it here. That's the issue. So we're going to temporarily abandon that idea. Let me go ahead and deconstruct these. I've got a different idea. We have skills to upgrade? Yes, we do. Our morale is looking good, so it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with taking on additional duties. I don't think we have anyone that can get ranching. No one has ranching as a preferred skill, so we'll just have to take it. I'm also going to change their hat to ranching. Or, yeah, I'm going to turn their hat to ranching. You could start digging. I will also do that. Ranching. Construction level 3. Construction level 2. Okay. So, I need to refine some gold because I need to begin automating our electricity. Our electricity, it needs to be automated. That's just the way it's got to be. I'm gonna build it here, and then I want to trap the heat in this room. Which means I probably also want to... Oops. I might want to also panel this area here, but at the minimum I want to do this. This entire area here is going to get quite hot because of the coal generators, and that's fine. I have a plan for the heat. Heat isn't always bad. Heat is only bad if it's unplanned. I'm going to also turn this into a food tile, because we're going to plant a wheezewort there. Next time these grow, actually we can do that right now. I need to increase my food production so that we can more safely take on a higher population of duplicants. Or, I'm sorry, slaves. My army, my base needs more cheap workforce. So let's go ahead and designate this for hatches and hatchlings. And I'm just going to start wrangling all these guys. Let's mop this up. There's nothing I can do with these puffs right now. Let's also deconstruct this and put a fire pole in so that in the event we need to get to the bottom, we can do it very quickly. Let's seal this off. Very nice. So this is the least efficient way to get refined metals. What it does is we lose 50% of the metal in the process, so if we were to crush 100 kilograms of copper ore, we would get 50 kilograms of pure copper. So it's not as efficient as Let's make this out of gold. Gold has gold melts slower. It has like a the overheat temperature is 90 degrees higher. That's the reason we're doing that. I want batteries. Okay, these are gonna have. That's gonna have to go. Where's batteries? Smart batteries. Okay, I'm gonna build 4 here. Smart batteries. They don't have as much capacity as jumbo batteries. They have half the capacity, so we're going to build twice as many. But they lose their charge much slower. That's their advantage. So they wrangled the hatch, and now it's up here. I'm surprised there's only one, though. Normally there's quite a few hatches. And we don't have a designated feeder for it, but that's fine, because it can eat the stuff on the ground. The hatches eat a lot of, like, strange things like rocks. Like, they like to eat rocks and stuff like that. Okay, good. We have another... I'm also gonna crush some copper. Because, basically, we're gonna need, wires. Automation wires. These high-tech automation wires are needed. Well, are these the correct type? Yeah, these are made out of copper. So I'm already out of, I'm out of refined copper, so once again, we can't, we're waiting on this to crush more materials. I'll copy the settings after that's done. We need to connect all of these. Now we'll set the threshold to 30% and then copy it. What this is going to do is... So what the smart battery is going to do is tell the generator to only burn its resource when one of the batteries has dropped to 30% of its capacity. So we don't have any phosphorus, which is what we need to fertilize, but that's actually not a big deal. There's some phosphorus right here. It's this stuff here. I don't want to dig too deep in because we got the, this is a caustic biome with chlorine and hydrogen. But there's a decent amount of phosphorus right there. It should be more than enough to maintain one of these guys. Let's check our automation map. So all of that is connected, which means we can now hook these up. And then we can hook this up to here. This is done, so I guess we can clean this up as well. I don't know if we'll... I mean, we can always rebuild it. It's not a big deal. Let's also remove the pipe. Remember that when you're in one of these overlays like this, even though I just made a really wide deconstruction... Oh, somebody got stuck and made a poopy outside. Oh, I see why. It's because this is locked. Otto. Fortunately, he poopied in a place that didn't... Who did it? Kyler. Of course Kyler is the one who takes a deuce. Fortunately, there was oxygen for him to breathe. Actually, this is a high priority. Let's do mop to priority 9. No food for you, Kyler. You're gonna be... You have to pay the price for taking the poopy. Deconstruct these. I forgot why that was locked. I don't even know why that was locked. Okay, so I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna... Basically, okay, let me copy these settings. And what I'm gonna do, I will be back once they finish this and we got the electricity flowing. Okay, so we are back. They deconstructed all of this stuff, and now we got ourselves a coal generator and the Wheezewort, which consumes about 10 kilograms of phosphorite, and we've got 600 kilograms, so this thing has plenty. Oh, we got a... Let's see what we got here. Drecklets. Tempted to take those. I don't want single skills right now. Decorating, tidying, and digging. No, I don't want to. He's got he's anemic, so we're gonna take the Drecklet eggs. These will take a while to hatch, so I can just kind of leave. Plus, we can wrangle them up. Here's another hatch. Go get them. Let's go ahead and furnish this location as well. And this... Is this going to become a recreational room? I think it is. Time to get a little less ghetto. Seal this. I don't have the research. Okay, we gotta call in the research. Okay, we'll talk about the power plant in a moment. Where is the juke box? Let me just type it in. Juke. There it is. Wait, I do have it. What is it under? Oh, it's under furniture. Okay, there we go. Furniture, and then I want 2 of these. Like this. I need to make a storeroom as well. Let me go ahead and unpause so they can get started. Where do I want the storeroom? Right here? This is not enough. This is not nearly enough. Let me check my gas levels. Polluted oxygen, not too bad. We just got this one right here, so let's go ahead and deconstruct that one. Okay, let's see. What can I plant? I want a Buddy Bud seed here, and another one here. Normally, you want to be careful about those because they create a lot of pollen, and it can give people allergies, but it is okay right now. Let's put these here. Decorating is important because it improves our morale. So one thing we're going to do is we need to start designating this. And as we harvest these, we're going to deconstruct them. And the reason we're going to do that is, one, so we don't waste any time, or we don't lose any of our plants. Like, we basically, we get this done as quickly as possible. No, don't uproot. But, so the planter pots are ugly, and they reduce the decor. And we want to have, when possible, we want to improve the decor. Because improving the decor will, it'll give them extra morale, and that means remember, your ability to level up is limited by your morale. Like, if you don't have, oh, excuse me, if your morale is really awful. Okay, so we want to pick these manually, because you don't want to get in a situation where, if you just select all, what it will do is, any future things you discover will be added to the list, and you might add something you don't want, like something that's releasing like poopy oxygen or something. So we're just going to select them manually, and we'll just update it over time. So like organic, you like algae, yes, eggshells, yes, but no to polluted dirt and slime, especially slime. Raw materials, this one can be a yes. Refined metal can be all yes. Seeds can be all yes. Some of these can be all yes. Like metal ore can be all... I'm just resetting some of them. Let's just leave it. And let's also make it super low priority, a 1. So what that's going to do is, if they have nothing else that's more important to do, what they will then do instead is begin just automatically sweeping up the stuff on the ground and putting it in storage. Which is going to... Let's go to our decor overlay. So right over here, debris minus 26. That's just crap on the ground. Crap on the ground is reducing the attractiveness of the area. And that's just something that we want to avoid. Let's go ahead and add in some airflow tiles here. And let's add in some of these things. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oops. I can use these as a guide. I want one here. 1, 2, 1, 2. I want one here. I'm just being neurotic about the placement. It's not that important to have them like that. So here's the cold biome. This is really good. There's a lot of wheezeworts in here. The wheezeworts help us manage our temperature. This thing is really nice. It charges up the batteries pretty quickly. And on top of that, I haven't deconstructed them, I just have them disabled in the event I want to use them. But now it means that we don't have to spend our time running on those. Let's get some research queued up. What do I want to research? Looking for something that catches my eye, something that... I think I'm going to want some things that have to do with pressure management. This is an interesting one. This. I need this one here. Because we get gas reservoirs. I actually do want that. Any skills we can level up? Nope, it's lying to me. So does this place count? Okay, so with a recreational facility, in this case, an absolutely titanic boombox, and then some of these here, it's allowed us to create a recreational room, which, what is the effect of a rec room? Basically, when they visit it, they will improve their morale, which right now, I don't have this active, so they're not going to be able to visit it. If we check our germ overlay, so this is the pollen, they're called floral scents. They're listed as germs, but they're essentially a type of pollen, basically. As long as you don't have somebody who has allergies as a negative trait, then the pollen's actually good, because these smell good. And let's see right here. Smelled flowers, minus 5% stress per cycle, so per day. So the scent of the Buddy Bud is good as long as you don't have someone who's going to have an allergic reaction to it. So let's continue building upwards as well. Because it's pretty safe to do so right now. Like, the base needs to grow. Like, that's what I think. That's part of the reason I did this. I need to free up my manpower. Let's go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just build this over here. And we're gonna do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're not ready for it yet, but eventually we're gonna get into critter breeding. I mean, I could kind of start. It takes a while. It takes a while to do, but there's nothing saying that we can't get started with critter breeding. Let's also mine this crap out. Let's also remove this so we can permit the air to flow upwards. Actually, what we can do is, in the event I want to mine more, we can just put 2 airlocks here. Put a second airlock there. Once again, the reason we're doing that, I want to keep the base pressurized whenever possible, just so that we don't lose... so that we're not losing oxygen unnecessarily. So what we want to do here is... so this is what allows us to feed. They'll eat stuff off the ground, but if we want to make them have a specific diet, which in this case we do, because these guys can morph into different creatures depending on what we feed them. I want them to basically eat rocks. And also for the babies, so sedimentary rock. Make sure nothing else is. This is a pretty high priority, make it a 7. And also, I want this sweep to be a slightly advanced priority, because I don't want them to eat this stuff on the ground. I want them to only eat what I want them to eat specifically sedimentary rocks, so that we can start breeding them into different stages of the hatch. Oh, here's another hatch right here. So when the next day rolls around, they can do that. Oh, there's a bunch of hatches here, too. Get them, get them. Okay, so once again, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna let them build this. Okay, so I am back, and I've decided to, because we just got a new thing. I know people want to join, but people want their name on the list, but we just can't do that right now because of, I don't want these guys. Like, I need people with multi-skills, and flatulence sucks, and mouth breather sucks. As far as this goes, you can see that this is, I've added a layer here, and that's because this is going to be for the Drecos. This part here is really important, so pay attention. We're going to put the Dreco eggs, make this priority 9. Where is it? The Dreklet eggs here. But you must not leave them inside, or the eggs will die. I'm just doing this because we need to transport them into the room. Okay, so now that they're here, I'm gonna pause, I'm gonna dump them out. The way you dump them out is just clear the parameters. So originally I had it like this. Just uncheck it and it will kick it right out. So there should be 3, yes. The way you can tell, if you look slightly below where my mouse is, it says Dracula egg ×1, another one ×1, another one. So all 3 of them are here now. That's the only way you can carry the eggs around for the most part. Unless there's another way and I don't know it. Go ahead and copy settings here. So now we've got 2 layers of food growing. That's going to be... How did you get over here? That's going to allow us to get more duplicants pretty easily. Also, we've got an egg down here, so same thing. I'm going to turn this on to hatch egg. Make this an 8. But it's very important that you don't... if you forget it for a day or 2, not the end of the world. But it's important that you don't leave the eggs inside, or they will begin to lose their viability. Which I will now demonstrate. So we kicked it out. We click it, viability 100%. Viability decreases in poor conditions, so that's fine. Incubation, this thing's about to hatch. In fact, this should hatch next cycle, which means we'll have a baby hatch. I'm gonna stay here and watch. I'll be right back when it hatches. Oh, there it is. Baby hatch. You can see the babies do have a... Oh, he just took a dookie. A really tiny dookie. Oh, little baby animals are funny. So let's deconstruct these. Let's go ahead and get all these out of the way. They're far enough along. They're just gonna start annoying me, micromanaging them. And now what we will do is copy settings to here. So let me check our wiring. That's something that's going to become a problem. So, okay, good. Current load is 240 watts out of 1,000. Potential load is 1,000. If we go over 1,000, we can start running into problems because we can start getting damage. Like the... Let's go ahead and repeat this process over here. If the wattage is too high for the wires, then it can start to fry the circuits. So what we'll have to do when we get to that point is... 2, 4, 5. What we'll have to do when we get to that point is make additional power grids, separate power grids, and separate the wires from each other. That way each system will have a wattage below its danger zone. So we got plenty of copper, so let's go ahead and connect these. Keep the wires behind so that they don't make the place look ugly. Can't have the place look ugly. And obviously the automation will mean that we don't use excessive... I mean, these light bulbs barely use any electricity, but I mean, there's no reason not to automate them, just to make them just that little bit more efficient. So, oh, here we go. See, let's slow it down so you can see. So we've got 2 people who can ranch. And what they're doing is, as you can see, they are taking care of my animals. And it's increasing their tame rating. This is why you need multiple ranchers. I mean, this is a very small number of animals, too. Like, this is not nearly... You know, we're gonna have way more animals than this. And what it's going to do is make them tame faster. When they become tame, they eat more food, and eating more food means they poop more coal. And also, they reproduce quicker. Back to maximum speed. So, unless these guys wander over here, they're not going to be good for anything. So, you can see now that they are cleaning up because they're on priority 1. Let's go ahead and clean this up here. I'll make this a 5. And once they clean all this stuff up down here, we'll just seal this off again. Oh good, we have our gas reservoirs, so I'm going to save a lot of the gas we have here for other uses. Like, a common thing to do with carbon dioxide is to start cleaning it and getting rid of it, but there is a creature that eats carbon dioxide, so I'm like, I don't know, might as well not waste the carbon dioxide. We could store it. I don't know when we'll get it, but that's actually what this area is going to eventually become. This is going to become an enclosure for slicksters, I believe is what they're called. Okay, so let me see. What are we going to do next? Everything over here is looking pretty good. Oh, here's something I need to do. I need to deactivate harvesting on these. Basically, these are not here for... Actually, they are kind of here for us for now. Until these guys hatch, then there's the... Ow, I just remembered. We can hatch them quicker by researching this. So we're going to have this animal control. This gets us the incubator. And the incubator will allow us to... Uh-oh. Okay, so that's not good. That was a mistake. That's also not good. Okay, so people are going to start having morale. We're going to start having... that. Yeah, stress is building. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is build a skill scrubber. We may not need to use the skill scrubber, but we're going to have it just in case. So if you... Let's go back and understand what just happened. So Joe Davis is currently, if I take my mouse away from everything, has a morale need, which is called expectation. His expectation stat is 2 above his morale, and so he's going to get stressed because basically this is what limits your ability to level up your characters, is your morale. So we need to increase our morale. If I can't do that and he starts getting stressed out, I can also use the skill scrubber to re-specialize his points and spend them slower. But let's focus on improving morale for now. What can we do to improve? Oh, okay. Very easily done. All we gotta do is close these up like so. And that should bring our morale back, actually. Yeah, because basically what's happening is we're not getting some of our room bonuses. Once they build then we'll get our barracks room bonus, which is +1 morale. And once we get this built, we'll have our Great Hall bonus. There we go. Let's go back to our jobs again. Okay. Okay, well, it's going to take a day for it to update. Like, he'll have to... Basically, until he uses this, it's not going to actually update, but I believe we'll be fine. We're not going to assign any skills until we're certain that our morale situation is good. Oh, what's this? Ah, it's too hot. So these things will not grow if the temperature drops too much, but that can be fixed. We can put a planter box here. Check my seeds. Do I have another wart seed? No, I don't. So we're gonna have to go find a wart seed, which it's our lucky day. There's a wart seed right there, along with some hydrogen. Hydrogen is the only gas that's lighter than oxygen, so it has a tendency to go to the top. That's not a big deal. Let's increase the priority of this to about a 6. Also, I want to auto-harvest... Oh, wait, we're gonna have to dig these out, too, to make a complete pathway. And this will have to get dug. So let's increase these. Let's make these a 9. I want this done now. So here we have wild sleet wheat. Wild sleet wheat is really good. I don't want to dig this up. I want to just have this on harvest. Just let it grow organically. Because we're not ready to actually do anything with sleet wheat. Sleet wheat is the key to making some pretty high-quality food, though. Oh, here's another one right there. I don't want to punch another hole through this abyssalite, though, because the abyssalite has extreme resistance to temperature change, and it's pushing this heat away from this cold biome. So instead, what we're going to do, I'm just going to dig a tunnel downwards and obtain the wart seed. And that means I'll also reveal this so we can do that. Okay, now we have a wart seed, which means we can plant it right here. How close to these Drecos? See, so Drecos are they're kind of like tortoises, you know, they live a decent amount of time, but that means they reproduce slowly and they grow slowly. This thing gets closer to hatching at 3% a day, so in order to have any effectiveness, what we're gonna have to do is build an incubator to speed the process up. So, what's neat about Drecos have a lot of uses, but we're only ready for one of their uses at the moment, and that would be, so these guys eat rocks and like sand and dirt, and they poop coal. These guys eat living plants, mainly they eat mealwood, pinch of pepper nuts, and balm lilies, mealwood being the most accessible, but they poop phosphorus. So that's actually really, really handy. We can also shave them. And we can shave them for reed fiber, and if I can get the different variant of them, they can grow plastic scales, and then we can harvest them as a way to get plastic. Oh, does somebody finally make it in? Wow, that's a lot of Pakus. Okay, so here we go. We got a farter, so that's a no. So what farters do is they fart out natural gas, and that's just really annoying. Natural gas is really useful, but not sporadic quantities of it all over the base. So building, farming, and tidying. Bottomless stomach, so he eats 500 more calories, and he consumes more oxygen. That's a really bad combination. I guess we're gonna take the Pakus, which means they're gonna start flopping all over the place. We're just going to zappinate them all, and we're gonna use them for food, because they're gonna give us some fish fillets. Speaking of which, I probably need to make a food area. Let's start working on that. Food, electric grill here. Let's make sure there's room for a gas range. Let's just put this one here. And we'll need to give it some electricity. Oh, it's only uses 60 watts? Oh, that's pretty convenient. Does anyone know cooking? Let's check our skills. So cooking is right here. Okay, so you can learn cooking, but you've got these two things to learn first. Okay, let's check our morale. Okay, so morale looking just fine. So that was the problem with it. So, the Drecos will only eat these while they are on the vine. Like, if we harvest them and leave them on the ground, they're not going to eat them. This is also slowly beginning. Let's check our temperature. So I haven't shown you this. So this thing is going to start reducing the temperature. We need to get things to below the mid-80s. Like, I believe 85 is the cutoff point for them to grow. This needs to be below 85 degrees, which the Wheezewort is capable of doing that. Same over here. Temperature. This thing generates quite a bit of heat. Right now we've got the Wheezewort here, but when we actually want this place to get hotter, I will remove the Wheezewort. This is supposed to be ice. Liquefiable. Ice. I think this is a pretty high... because I don't want that ice to melt in a random location. Oh, that means we can assign some skills, too, so let's get... Okay, he's our secondary researcher. Oh, let's change our priorities. So, both of the Joes are... Oh, that's convenient. Both of the Joes are researchers. And... Okay, so you're a suit wearer, so that means I want to get this... Suit wearing refers to atmospheric suits. Eventually we'll be able to build those, but right now we can't do anything with it. So if you're looking for where an egg is, so in this case I'm like, where is the egg at? Here it is. Although it looks like that's going to be the end of cycle 50. I believe our what are these? This probably the creatures here is going to be the introduction to creatures is going to be our thumbnail. Oh boy. So let's pause right here. Slaves, aside from the poopy Duke that Kyler took over here, it's going to come out of his payment, don't worry. Like, I'll make sure Kyler doesn't get away with it. Like, he will get, he's going to get, like, 50 lashes. Some terrible thing is going to happen. I'm going to put him in the Dead Space universe. That's what's going to, I'm going to throw him in my Dead Space Let's Plays. That's what's going to happen. At any rate, though, once again, the base is expanding, so I talked a little bit about gas storage. That's going to come in handy when I need to move into these hostile atmospheres. When a hostile atmosphere is really far from the base, that's when the atmospheric suits tend to be better, because you don't want to... It's very time-consuming to remove gas. Gas is really annoying to deal with. Polluted gas, not a big deal. Polluted water, not a big deal. So all this stuff here, that won't be too much of a deal. It's mainly the temperature, but even the temperature is not too bad. We've got a lot of, the cold biome is actually spilling in here, which is fine. Cold is good. I would much rather be cold and heat things up than be hot and need to cool things down. So, like, because, like, the base, I'm looking, where can the base expand? All this area here is perfect for expansion. Not a problem. Over here, another caustic biome. Very hot. Average temperature is about 110 degrees. Hostile atmosphere, but I need the chlorine and I need the hydrogen, but it's such as gas and it goes all over the place, we're going to need to store it. This area here, all really good stuff. Over here, pretty good stuff. So the base has plenty of room to move, plenty of room to expand. I can put more facilities in. One of my plans is to get these guys eventually in here. I can't wrangle them. These guys, you can't just use the wrangle button on them. See, it says right there, cannot wrangle. So, but eventually, if I can get eggs, I can just put the eggs in here manually, but ranching creatures is really neat, especially when they start morphing, because these guys have multiple morphs. Like, this is just the regular hatch. There are many different kinds of hatches, and that's going to be a really cool part of it. So, anyways, like I said, I want to get into the game a bit faster, like 10 cycles a day, trim down where possible, and we'll move on. Definitely, whenever I'm really concentrating, definitely not as silly as I can be, but that's because, like I said, I'm really trying to get this stuff done, because I really want to show you how crazy this game can get once we get deeper into it. Like, once we're going to be dealing with gas, multiple power grids, we're going to be dealing more with plumbing, cooling, you know, you got a little introduction to cooling and whatnot. I don't know, there's plenty to go. There's plenty of stuff to do. It's going to be really, really neat. At any rate, that's the end of this episode. Like this video if it was entertaining. Subscribe for future Oxygen Not Included content. And of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.